Hey everybody, welcome to another week of math. Just some announcements. Please keep in mind over here we got a learning activity after this lesson that you should be able to do. And I'm also thinking about doing the PC on Wednesday to Friday. I'm going to give you a code with a video and you're going to have to do this on your own, okay? I want to see how this works. I've been doing it with my Math 7 class and it's been really bad to be honest, but with you all, I trust you all that you'll be able to do it on your own, okay? Also, please remember to answer the discussion question, and also please come to my office hours if you need that help, okay? I have a timer that I'm going to use, and we're just going to get to it, all right? We'll try to make this lesson in 15 to 16 minutes. Okay, let's get started with our do now. So looking at this, I have number 1 and number 2. This should be a number 2. Man, I got a timer, and this is already bad. There should be number 2, and then we got number 1. First one is I want to rotate around the origin 90 degrees. So if this was my original position, looking at this, keep in mind it's in the top left corner. I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees counterclockwise, and it looks like everything on that upward position moves sideways 90 degrees, okay? So let me go ahead and put these points out. So if I was to rotate it around my origin's right over here, I'm going to say this B looks like it's going up 3 and then away 3. So I'm going to go up 3 and away 3 from that origin. Okay. All right. And then C is going to be up 3 vertically and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away horizontally from the origin. Remember, I'm looking at where that center point is. Same thing with A. We're up above 7 and then we're away 5, it looks like. So up above 7 and away 5. Sweet. So that's going to be my first rotation, okay? Next, I'm going to rotate ABC around another point. I'll do this in red. So I'm going to start, let me pull this out. So I'm going to rotate at another point. Whoops. It's going to be around point P. So let's go ahead and put point P, figure out where that is. This is going crazy. Yeah, there we go. Point P is at -1, 4, which is right over here. This is where P is. So now that is going to be my new point of where I'm going to rotate everything. So again, this is going to be my new axis. Now I'm doing part 2. Let me erase all that. This is going to be where my new axis is with my rotation. So I'm going to rotate that 180 degrees. So I'm going to go 90 and then go down 180. So it looks like everything is going to be plopped down, right? So again, we got, I'll do red. This is 0, 90, 180. All right. So everything from that position is going to be moved. Looks like downwards. We'll go in this way. It's kind of hard this. And then it's going to be at 180 degrees. So B is going to be 2 away and vertically up. So that's B prime right there. C is going to be away from that center point P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. And then A, oh, I also forgot. This is kind of weird because now B is below that top left corner. So that's actually going to move up to this part up here in red. And as you see, if I was to look at that with a ruler, that would be straight across, right? That would be our 180 degrees right there. My bad. So then C is, actually it's down 1, up, away 1 vertically, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. So away 1 vertically, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Hey, if it doesn't, please come to my office hours with this. I know this isn't easy, especially when we're doing this online. So A is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontally, 1, 2, 3 away vertically. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where A prime is. Okay. that's my rotations right over there. Let's get into the lesson now. We're actually going to go into now combining everything we learned last week and the week before with translations. And we're going to call these isometries, isometric movements. Fancy word, isn't it? But all that is just multiple movements. You should be able to understand all the points and shapes in the coordinate plane. You transform them all and also be able to understand notation, okay? So isometry. When I say isometric or isometries, I'm going back to the root word of isometry, which means same direction. It is a transformation that preserves distance or length. So translations, reflections, rotations are isometries. Remember, if I was to move my hand here, okay, if I was to do isometry of this, well, visually you can see I'm moving it this way, right? Technically what I'm doing when I'm moving that is translating it. And then I can also do this way to reflect it as well from my original position. Okay, that's an isometry right there. I can move it and then reflect and combine all those other things with it, okay? That is what makes it. So again, there's 4 kinds. We learned it as translation, moving one to another point, rotation, where we take our point and then rotate it or take our shape, and I believe reflection. There it is. If I was to take this and reflect it from a line of reflection. So now we can do a glide reflection. That's something else I'm going to add on later, okay? So let's go to reflection across parallel lines. This is going to be a little bit harder, but please be patient with it. I will do my best to guide you, but again, you can always get help by coming to my office hours or send me an email, GChat, whatever works, right? So here's what's going on. The first thing you need to understand is the notation. So I added something extra here, which is this little circle in between RM and RN. Do you see that? We call that a composition symbol. Okay, we're going to be reflecting things twice, but how to do that, we first need to understand the notation of it. So when I'm reflecting, let me just get my notes out just in case. When I'm reflecting, again, we're going to do 2 reflections. Here we got 2 lines. We got N and M, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say this RN goes first. Because technically what this means is reflect, it goes RM of RN. What that means is you first reflect RN. So you do this one first. And then you do the second. Let's see. And then this one is second. Okay? So the first thing you do is reflect RN, and then you reflect M. All right? That can equal to, right over here, which is RM of RN of our triangle ABC. So when I say RM of RN of ABC, what I'm saying is reflect first of RN and then reflect again with RM, okay? So that should look something like this. There's my pre-image. That reflects off this N right over here. And then it's going to reflect again off M, okay? So that is 2 reflections, but our image, our answer, ends up being right over here. All right. So if I was to do another one, again, this is saying reflect M of Rn of our shape F, it looks like here. What that equals is I'm going to reflect this first. Okay, this is first. So here's my N. I'm going to reflect that. If I make a reflection, that's going to look something like this, right? Just like with a, actually, did I already have it? Nope. Okay, so that's just like on a pond, right? You look down on a pond, you see a reflection of yourself. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to look something like that, right? It's going to be the opposite of whatever. Okay, so that one's first, and then this, do another color, is second. So reflect it again off this line M. Okay, this should be an easy example because it gets crazy hard. But for the most part, I don't even like that. Let's see. There you go. It's about like there. Okay. So that's the reflection. We jump it across these lines and it ends up with our image right over here. Okay. And this was our pre-image. Only got 5 minutes. All right, so go ahead and try this. I want you to pause the video and do it yourself, okay? Go ahead and pause and try this on your own. Hold on. There we go. All right, so this is what I have. Again, you're taking that line and you're reflecting again, and you need to pick another line and that reflects again. So it's something like, here's where I start with, right? Here's my line of reflection. Oh, this is hard. It reflects here, and then you do another line, and then it reflects again, okay? And that creates that same copy. It's kind of cool because notice how these two reflections, what's going on with that M? What we just did is we kind of just made a translation here, didn't we? We moved it from that side over here and we moved it over here. So that's what two reflections does to something, to an image. It makes it so you can move it from one position to another, at least with horizontal and vertical reflections, right? So another one we have is more isometries. We're going back to that fourth one, which was a glide reflection, right? That is the composition of a translation and a reflection. So we're going to do a translation, which is movement, and then we're going to do a reflection, okay? That's what the glide reflection means. So let's go ahead and practice that. So remember, if I was to do this again, just making sure I got my notes to the side. Remember, this right here goes first. So I'm going to do that first. And this tells me I translate. Remember, these are your X and Y values. This is your plus, or minus, right? For each point where you're moving that triangle. In this case, we have the same triangle from the beginning. So I'm going to move that. Looks like it's going to be up 7. Man, this is not a very good example. Ooh, you know what? Let's make this a negative, okay? So that's 0, -7. So I'm going to take each of those points and I'm going to move it 0, -7. So with C right here, I'm going to move that down. Did I already do this already? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to move that down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. And this one goes down all the way down, matching that. And this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So this right here, class, this is supposed to be your first movement, which was, I guess you can call this A prime, B prime. Okay, that was the first translation. And now the second thing I got to do, so the second thing, so this is the second, is reflect it on this y-axis right here, right? So this is our y-axis. I got to reflect that now. And there's my line of reflection from that red triangle that we just made, that A prime, B prime, C prime, right? Again, reflection is just how far away you are from the line of reflection. In this case, we're 1, 2, 3 for B, 1, 2, 3. We'll call this B double prime. And then we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's C double prime. And A is just going to be right there, A double prime. So that's all it is to it, right? We did two different things to it. We moved it and then reflected, okay? What's kind of interesting, because I kind of see this as, well, we just did was we took our regular image up here and we just kind of slid that horizontal or diagonally, didn't we? That's pretty much what you do when you're doing these reflections and translations, or these glide reflections, all right? So here is another one. Again, I want you to create this and try it yourself. It's really hard to follow when you are just kind of watching, right? You got to try these yourself. So I'm going to pause this video. Okay, I just moved it back. So this is what I have so far. Again, the first thing I need to do is my translation. So this is your X movement plus or minus your Y movement. I just moved it, looks like, to the right 2 spaces with that triangle. I probably should have did more. I should have gave you a little one, longer one, like 8 or something, but that's fine. But as you see in the red, that's the first thing I did, and then I reflected off that x-axis. Remember, this right here is your x-axis. So I'm going to reflect that from there. That's my line of reflection, and that gives me A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. Okay, when you do those learning activities, this is what's going to look for, is that A double prime, C double prime, B double prime, okay? All right, let's do this one together. I want to feel good about it and make sure you're getting it. So I'll do this real quick. Man, I was trying to do 15 minutes, but that's okay. So first thing is I need to move this with my X and Y. Looks like I got to move it down -8, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that one's right here. And this one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that will give me A prime, B prime, C prime. And now I also have to do is reflect, secondly, reflect on the y-axis, right? Just right over this bad boy. And again, we can see how far away we are. And when I do that, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. See, this is what happens when I go too fast. Okay, so 3, and then there. All right, so that is my A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. Cool. And again, I just took that image, moved it down, and that's where we ended up with, okay? So go ahead and answer this. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's lesson, right? Give me the final A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, or the image of this. And yeah, remember again, this week we got all this stuff going on. We're almost there, class. This week is going to be our midterm, and then we got 4 more weeks of it. Keep working hard, all right? Looking after you. Miss you all still, and hopefully you don't forget about me. I won't forget about you. Peace.